Hello there, Virgo. We're shifting around the process, the order that I do these readings in. So I embody the energies, before I come in as I'm meditating on the sign. You could be tuning in if you're a sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign in Virgo. And, it's really about getting active for the Virgos, moving that physical vessel, moving that Merkaba, that dimensional vehicle that is your perceived illusionary physical body. In truth, the true flesh is the soul. Also, having baths. I don't know why I said it like that, but having baths. And, just being cleanly. Virgos love to be clean. They love to be organized. This could be coming through for you. We really did feel it. And apologies for the last signs. I was saying that we're moving into the Libra full moon. No, we're moving into a Scorpio full moon, I believe, in May. So, here's what it is. Let's have a look. At the physical body of existence. You could be worrying about something in the physical as well. You're either worrying or praying, Virgo. So, please pray and you will be covered. But let's get the four bodies of existence: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. We do have a reading what to do next, and that's a little bit of a different layout. It's a video format within 7 parts in regards to what to do next. But we have the 9 of Cups. So, this is the happiest minor card within traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. So, a lot of people perceive it as such. And, it shows up in different decks with slightly different representations. Within this card, he really has his arms crossed. So, there is a blockage of reception, or you are receiving too much, and physically the body can't necessarily handle it. So just releasing any fears or worries in regards to maybe spiritual attacks or demonic attacks, and just being the happy you. It's kind of like you're scared of happiness in the physical. You're scared of everything. You're scared of joy. You're scared of everything actually going right. So, releasing this fear to God, to the eternal sun. We do have Ace of Swords. So you could be cutting off a communication with certain people or peoples within the physical. You could be really laying the law down, speaking your truth. And, this is helping you. There is suggestion of cord cutting, so if you wanted to book into a cord cutting here, Virgo. However, just having that armor of God, that shield of God. We have the 10 of Swords. Interesting man in the background there. These cards are so funny. The Schism. The 10 of Swords. So emotionally, there is projections. Someone is jealous or envious of your success, of your happiness, and they send projections, daggers of fear, doubt, judgment, backstabbing, or even front stabbing here with the 10 of Swords. But emotionally, there is... You are correct, Virgo, in regards to putting your shield up, putting those protective mechanisms in place. Because in the emotional body of existence, the energy and motion, there has been some projections, to hurt you with the intention of hurting you. There's some malice of beings or a being around. So, just be in awareness of that, pleading the blood. Sometimes this sash can look like blood, but pleading Jesus's blood really is the spiritual authority that is needed here for you, Virgos, this week. Nothing to fear. It's just there is, as you can see, he kind of looks a bit devious here with the 9 of Cups. So being that it is in the physical body of existence for your read, Virgo, there is suggestion towards, yes, you are to be happy, and you have been, and you will be feeling happy. However, maybe that first step to actually being happy is to cut off what you are giving and receiving, to cut off certain people, places, situations. I'm getting more so. Just be aware in regards to what you're consuming, what you're watching, even like online and stuff like that. So Page of Pentacles, it is time to begin again, I feel, and you're really being asked to take this mask off, be the vulnerable you. The more that you are vulnerable, yes, the more hate that you're going to get. Christ says, pick up your cross and follow me. They hate you because they once hated me. If you are moving into this space of Christ consciousness, unity consciousness, there's going to be beings stuck in duality, coming from the adversary that just don't like how vulnerable you are, because you're a mirror to that which they are suppressing. So just keep pulling these puzzle pieces apart. I mean, when I said that, there is something that you want to know about. You want to know about someone's emotions towards you. You want to know about someone's thoughts and whether, their judgments, expectations, attachments towards you. Could be an air sign, as we've got a lot of swords here. So just go with the flow, God is saying. We do have the Death card. You are being asked to, really, with this Ace of Swords and the Death card here, mental body of existence, there is a slight ego death going on, right? So if you're a little bit more sensitive and you're feeling a little bit weird, a little bit off, I wouldn't say shame or guilt, just like this whimsical energy that you can't quite put your finger on, you're simply just going through an ego death in the mental body of existence. Certain belief systems, specifically revolving around the twin flame journey and the twin flame connection, they're having to die so you can move on to this next phase of what God has in store for your perceived twin flame experience. Moving into a soul flame experience, an eternal flame experience, which is still a twin flame experience. This is the whole point. It's just moving from duality into the eternal unity that is. We have the Hermit card in reverse. So mentally you're just not feeling like yourself. The Hermit card is the Virgo card. So, there's some... it literally is coming from the external. Like, I don't like to perceive in this subject-object reality. However, here it is beneficial. There are beings that you just have to let die. You just have to... that sounds really harsh, but... there's beings that just aren't going where you are going, and God is really cutting certain soul contracts here. I see soul contracts being, cut completely. And it's because these beings, again, there's a bit of pride, there's a sense of pride, envy, jealousy, just simply because, like, when you're happy, that's when they're most envious. So it's quite interesting. We do have a Knight of Wands here. So if you're a feminine, there's likely a Knight of Wands, someone very passionate about you, coming, to save you, ultimately, is the word that wants to come through. They have a lot of drive with this huge wand here. There is a perception from them that, they're in the future here because of the way that he is placed, and, it's in the spiritual body of existence. And we do have the Justice card here. So definitely soul contracts being forged here in the future and then being cut in the present moment. So you may see by the end of this week, this Knight of Wands really manifests within your energetic field. You can sense them. There's a yoking going on. There's a union. There's a bond going on. And, the Justice card here really balancing out the scales of karma. Like, when you let go of the people or person that has been projecting, having this envy towards you, you will really attract someone that is quite passionate, and they're very futuristic. I don't know, there's this notion, like, they're ready for battle. They're like, she deserves more type of situation. I do see a couple of air signs involved in this situation. So it could be representing air in your chart, but I don't feel like a lot of you actually have much air in your chart. So that's why I'm saying it's like coming from the external. But let's get a oracle card here. we're doing 2 oracles at the end of each read now. So the Dragonland Garden, a new world is born. Yeah, so you're just moving on to a new phase, a new chapter in your life, Virgo. This week is the week to do so. You know, even the next couple of weeks, moving into this Scorpio full moon. I do feel like, Virgo, you were affected by the Taurus new moon, and, you know, you may see, like, this weight being lifted off you over the next 2 weeks as we move away from that Taurus new moon. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. So yeah, just moving towards love. Do not fear anything this week, you know, again, either worrying or praying, just ultimately going before God morning and night, really tapping in and casting all your worries upon Christ. That's really going to help you, because you are moving into unity consciousness, Christ consciousness, Virgo, and a part of that is humbling and being open and receptive to God, not to the ways of the world. So I hope this helped you, Virgo. You know where I'm at if you'd like a privatized reading. Namaste. Amen.